Good morning. I think I'm live. Delete. Let's go to YouTube. Now I'm live. So it's wacky. Your channel. And I'm live. Boom, boom, boom. Hit the thumbs up. I don't expect too many people to join live chat. We got the big head here. I'm going to go to little head. Actually, you know, I'm going to do this. Fidelity Active Trader Pro. There we go. Your boy cut his hair. And I got a 360 scan of my teeth the other day at the dentist's office, and I never realized how crooked my freaking nose was. XLY, IGM, AMD, Crowd, Square, XLK, MSFT, and Morgan Stanley. We got a lot of scans, a lot of stuff going up. Let's see. Paid newsletter. Let's see. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Plan of taking market share. Definitely seems to be working. Good morning to all. Neo. Li Auto. We have to do Li. I think, yeah, it's LI. We're gonna do that there. That there. I'm getting my notes together, and we've got scans out the wazoo. VOO entry, Google entry, Qualcomm entry, Netflix entry, FBCG, XLY, GS. Wow. Last week was just good. Let's look at the covered calls ETF. Wow. QYLG, DIVO, KNG. Wow, energy names. There's probably going to be a bunch here too. I don't think we're going to have that many people on. It's July 3rd, man. if you're off from work, you're sleeping in. If you don't work like me, you kind of just, hang out and get up when you want to. ASMR with stocks. Let's see if there's anything fun on the front page of FinViz. Look at that heat map on Friday. God. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to save this one. Share heat map. Copy. And is it a good one? Yep, it's a good one. Bum, bum, bum. That heat map is crazy. Friday was such a good day. LAC. Ooh. I think that's Lithium Americas, if I'm not mistaken. Lithium Americas, yep. Below the 200-day. Lithium has not been a great investment. You're on the downside of the 50-day, upside of the 200-day. You do have some decent volume shelves going on right there. It's kind of right at its support, but if you lose that support at 20, you're down to 15. May not be worth the risk. But it's a scan. I think we levered ETFs. Let's look at levered ETFs. Covered call ETFs. We're going to do levered ETFs. UPRO. DPST. SPXL. TQQQ. God. TCL. This is crazy. I mean, listen, the market is so good that you're going to get these cross-ups in the algorithm. It's about being patient. VIG, VEA, VOO, VUG, VSS, VTI, VTV, VXUS. Okay. Low cost spider sectors, let's see. XLG, XLP, XLV, XLY, XLK. Boom. Let's look at the Dow 30. We're going to go back up here. Cisco, IBM, Caterpillar, and Travelers. Caterpillar's an interesting one because we've been on the rebound with Caterpillar. Look at that. And, I mean, that gap up here at 257 looks to be getting filled too. Wow. Deere has been on a monster one too. We're going to go to NASDAQ 100, and there's going to be a shit ton of these. Enphase. CrowdStrike is already up there. Dexcom, Generac, GEHC. I think D-Man asked me about Generac. Or no, that's healthcare. That's on its way up. We're at 81. You're going to cover this gap up to about 86. Might be worth it. Take it. I mean, here's the thing. Worst case, you hold a good stock. What's the crying for? No, there's no reason to cry. None. There's nothing. There's nothing there. Sorry. Dogs came up. I got to turn on my do not disturb. Man, there is just so much. Let's go to the S&P. Okay. Then I got to get my notes in order. And then I'm going to do a quick one because it is July 3rd. So, Let me get my notes in order while this one's scanning. Okay, let's see. Lane, I'm in Atlanta too. Good morning. I'm in Atlanta, but this week I'm driving to New Jersey, so Apple closed above 3 trillion. Dan Ives says that there's a car, first monthly MACD, crossed to the upside. NVIDIA, Microsoft are the best AI plays according to a survey. Heading under those prices seems to be the most attractive entries. Tom from Instagram, trading plan, Tesla deliveries. Oh my God, just too much. I'm not going to include everything. Okay. No way I can include everything. Hey, Lane, I don't know what part of Atlanta you're in. I'm in Smyrna over by the Battery. And I got to tell you, the weather has been telling me that it's going to rain every afternoon for the last 3 days. And it's typically the summer afternoon showers. And man, nothing has popped up. I was hoping we'd have showers so that my dogs weren't bothered by the fireworks that people insist on lighting off at like 11 o'clock at night last night. And I was hoping that was the case, but we haven't gotten any rain. It's crazy. Noonan. You're in the nice part of Georgia. The country. I'm in the city. I did have a listener who was down south who owned peach farms down south in Georgia. Early on, this time last year, I think he listened. I don't know if he's still listening, but I hope he is. We're going to look at SPY. We got a baby gap. Do we have a gap on the daily? We got a little gap there to hit on the way down. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to get started on the podcast now. We'll get going here. Let's look at the weekly. real quick so that I know what it says. We're breaking out over that triangle. I think you're heading to 460. You know what? Let me look at. Let me see if I click on this. Nope. I don't get the actual chart. I get Trendspider. Okay. We'll go over there. I'll do this. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. We're going to go home. It's 8:30. I think most people start joining at like 8:30. Okay. We'll start out with SPY. Good morning. Monday, July 3rd. First day of trading in July. Fun times. Yeah, we're going to run this. I was looking at SPY. First off, I want to clear something up. Somebody asked, I think it may have been Highway, or someone asked me in the Facebook group, what do scans mean? So at the end of every newsletter, I put scans in, and it lists a bunch of symbols. What does that mean? That essentially means when I go over here to Market Scanner and I go to my 4-hour algorithm, and I scan what's in the 4-hour algorithm, like for instance, let's take one, Morgan Stanley. I think that one just came up. When I come over here and I go to Market Scanner, and by the way, anyone who upgraded to Trendspider over the weekend, there were a lot of you. I sent out that welcome a lot. But the scans mean, look, 85.76 for Morgan Stanley. So in today's newsletter, you will see a scan of Morgan Stanley, $MS. That's what scans mean. It means you've gotten an entry point into the algorithm. Now, a scan that I know we had before, let's see, Netflix. I think Netflix is one that we had before. Yeah, well, no, it got you out and then it got you back in. Let's take a look at something like maybe CrowdStrike is one that was in there before. CrowdStrike is one we got to scan in. Maybe Qualcomm. Let's see. I mean, all of these are brand new entries. That's a new entry. Let's look at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, I think, is a new entry. Yeah, you got the button hook and then it crossed up and boom, you're getting that one. Let's look at Broadcom, AVGO. See if this one, because some of the chips, no, got you out and got you back in. Sometimes you'll see a scan. And if you're in Trendspider, you won't necessarily see it like with an entry point there, even though it's in the scans list. So if you got Trendspider and you get my newsletter, which is free, you can basically just go in and look, run the algorithm, and you'll see the entry point for that symbol. So again, my newsletter is free. You sign up for a Trendspider subscription, which, by the way, is 50% off up until tomorrow. $32.50 a month, $390 a year. If you're not going to make $400 in trades, in gains, say for instance you made $1,000 last year in actual trades, it's not worth. Trendspider's not worth it. $400, 50% of your actual trades is not worth it. Say you made something like $20,000 in trades. $400, the Trendspider will save you $400 just with this algorithm. So getting you in and out, that's what scans mean. Now, do you need Trendspider to do this? No. Your charting software should be able to tell you. It just may not have this easy exit and entry and exit. I mean, look at this one, for instance, Broadcom, 629. If you had noticed this one before, the button hook, you could have gotten out. Now, the algorithm kind of doesn't wait for you to get out, but it got you out about 840, gets you back in at 867. You could have just held it. This was close enough to confirmation above that 9-day that you could have just held it. So that's what scans means in the newsletter. It is the symbols. I promise you guys every day in the newsletter, you would actually get some stock tips. Those are your stock tips. I just include some commentary about some other stocks that I like. But if you want the newsletter, it's right here, dailystockpick.substack.com. You can see there was a paid one this weekend, and you can sign up $7 a month, less than you pay for a Happy Meal. I think it's about what you pay for a Happy Meal. But indicators I use right there. So this explains it was long. My apologies for the length, but I'd rather overwhelm the paid subscribers than underwhelm you. And so this is the story of how I came up with the algorithm. And essentially, you'll see this chart right here. Now, this chart kind of plays twofold in today, but this chart right here, it shows you the 2008 housing crisis, which I took a bath on. I did not have Trendspider. Trendspider did not exist back then. And then the COVID crash, which I took a bath on as well. That is basically right there. Those are the two things that I said, okay, I want a charting program that will help me backtest so that if one of these crashes, 57%, 36% happens, I want the ability for a charting program to backtest a strategy that might avoid that type of thing so that when we get these types of downturns, I can quickly make some adjustments in my portfolio so that I'm not completely hurt by being 95 or 98% invested in the market. So that's essentially what it does. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, if you want to sign up for Trendspider, Linktree /daily stock pick, linktr-ee/daily stock pick. The Trendspider style is right here. You'll get my algorithm. You'll get the watch list. You'll get the scanners, visible service if you want to sign up for that. If you don't have a brokerage or if you're in Robinhood, I would suggest Webull. You can get 12 free stocks valued up to $3,000. The third link right here. Any of the other social platforms that you have Facebook, you have Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can tip me. You can gift me if you make money. You can even email me, whatever you want. It's all right here on the Linktree. Just go there. It has all of the links that you need. But yeah, that paid newsletter, that was a long one. Now, what I don't charge you for are the free ones. Typically, what I'm trying to do is the free ones are more about stocks. The paid ones are more about education. My preference is that you get educated about this stuff. But if you don't want to necessarily need the education, I'm not going to charge you for the stock picks because you know what? At times I may be wrong. But what I posted yesterday as a newsletter, and it comes free in your inbox, is the way I see the market. And the way I see the market, again, you can look at this chart. This is the COVID pullback. And I'm sorry, that's the COVID pullback. That's the housing crisis pullback. What do I see in this long-term chart? Each candle's a monthly. This is a monthly chart of SPY. What do I see in the candles? I see that the MACD is just about to cross up. If you paid for my newsletter, you will absolutely understand the MACD cross up because I included a lot of commentary and how I've discovered the MACD. You will also see that the RSI is in no man's land, but it's going up. It's not oversold yet. So what did I say I see the market? I see it going up. I just see it continuing. So when we go back here to Trendspider to actually look, I'm sorry, I need SPY. I'm gonna pull up QQQ because QQQ, it's the first monthly MACD cross up on QQQ since May 2020. If you remember May 2020, and let's go back to May 2020. Let's do a monthly. And you can see that MACD right there of QQQ, First monthly cross up since May 2020. Where were you in May 2020? You were just getting out of COVID. If you had invested just in SPY at $200 in May 2020, it opened at 184. It closed at 218. Your average is about $200. So say you got it right in the middle at $200. You've almost doubled your money since May 2020 just in SPY. That is just the S&P 500. I'm sorry, QQQ. You've doubled your money because you're almost at 400. And it's the first MACD cross-up. Over the last 20 years, when a MACD cross-up has occurred, the following month was green 71% of the time, with an average return rate of 2.47. That's not to say that we're absolutely going up. 7 out of 10 times, good bet. How would I play this one? Well, today I may be buying TQQQ. And that would be a way to kind of hold it for a month. If you had bought TQQQ in the algorithm a couple months ago, you're still in this. 2764. You just had so it hasn't gotten you out the algorithm. You got all kinds of gaps below it, but your TQQQ is just showing a cross up here on the 4 hour. So if you buy it here, I would say try and buy it under 40. In pre-market, you're up 0.22. The market is only open till 1. You're gonna see some volatility here in the morning. Not much. I would expect the volume to be down. That MACD cross up on TQQQ is the way I would play it. So again, newsletter, Trendspider subscription. I do think that this one, both of those are good ways to make money if you listen to my podcast. And again, the links are down below. The links are on the link tree. If you want, get the elite service. The way signing up for Trendspider works is you sign up, you pay for the yearly, or you pay for the monthly, one or the other. Then just email me. Go to the link tree and email me from the email account that you signed up with, or if you want to email me from a different account, just make sure that you tell me the email address that you signed up. I then go into Trendspider software and figure out that you're on my program. If you're not, I get you moved over. Then I'll send you the welcome letter that includes all the goodies. It includes the algorithms. It includes the watch list. It includes the scanner. So a lot of people signed up for it. There's a lot of work being done over the weekend for you guys kind of setting up your systems. On my YouTube channel, if you go to my YouTube channel, I include this in the welcome letter as well. You'll see a getting started with myself and David Yoakum from Trendspider. I send you to that link as well. Now, here's the SPY. Here's the S&P 500 heat map from Friday. It will explain when you get the newsletter today. There are so many cross-ups and so many scans in the, based on just what I just did, that I'm not going to go over everything. When you have this much green, this much upside, it's going to get a lot of main stocks that are in buy territory. If you have a crazy, feeling about one stock and it's in the cross up, use your charting program. I don't want to send you to Trendspider because you can use a charting program as well. Learn your candlesticks. Learn all of that stuff. That is crazy. That's the basis of Trendspider. Somebody asked me, hey, if I get your algorithm and stuff like that, is it just plug and play? No, you still have to do work. There is nothing in the stock market that is plug and play. If you want a texting service that tells you to buy TQQQ at $27.64 here based on an algorithm, and you're going to pay $10 a month for it, that's great. It's not me. I want you to learn about this stuff. I want you to identify, even without a charting, even without Trendspider, that, hey, at $27.64, this may look like a good buy. You know why? Because the MACD is down here at the oscillator point. The last time it went to the oscillator point, it was at 22. And it went up from there. Ooh, it's back down here. The RSI is at 55 in no man's land, and it's going up. I think it's probably a good buy. Right here, maybe. I should sell out because the button hook's happening. Well, I got out. You know what? I got to get back in because I have confirmation over the 9-day. So, again, my system works for me. Your system needs to work for you. If my system can help you, then sign up for Trendspider. It's as simple as that. But again, the MACD on QQQ crossed up. I would play it with TQQQ. I would try and get this one under 40. I think at some point this week, you will be able to buy TQQQ under 40. And I think we at least go to 44 in the month of July. Doesn't mean you won't see a pullback. Remember, sizing matters. Get into positions so that you're sized correctly. Say you want to put $100 into TQQQ. Don't go $100. Go 20. Go 20 under 40. And then when it pulls back to 38, go 20 more. And when it pulls back to 37, go 20 more until you get to your 100. When you get to your 100, if you're way down or if you start bouncing back up, that's when you start selling. That's when you start trimming. And you can always buy back in. You can buy back in the whole way down. Sell your 20 for a loss, buy back in at 20, go to a different ETF, a different levered ETF. Again, I have all of the triple levered ETFs in a watch list for you if you sign up. But let's go to your boy's biggest play, Apple, AAPL. It closed above 3 trillion. First company to ever hit the 3 trillion mark. At some point, you're hitting all-time highs. So over the weekend, there were all kinds of Apple stories. The biggest thing today is that suppliers are being asked to hold back parts and not make as many parts for the Apple Vision. At some point in time, the AAPD, this is the short. This is the short of Apple. AAPD makes sense to get into. Now, you're going to wait for confirmation. Kind of like Lane brings up, Highway asked, what's confirmation? Confirmation is different for everybody, but confirmation for me in my system is the 9-day. I don't hold tight and fast by rules. What I like to see is the candlestick above the 9-day. If it touches the 9-day on the bottom side, I'm slightly concerned. If it breaks through the 9-day on the bottom side, I'm a little more concerned. If the upside doesn't even touch the 9-day, I'm not getting into that stock. Well, what do we have here? Look, the green line is the 9-day. I ain't getting into AAPD right now. I'm not trying to time the bottom. I'd rather miss the first 5% and get the second 10% than get in too early. Look at all of these losses. Again, the algorithm doesn't do you any favors from the recent standpoint, but I tell you over 2 years, the algorithm absolutely does you well. We're on the 4 hour, over 10.8 months, because that's how long AAPD has been around. It hasn't been around 2 years. If you bought this when it opened up 10 months ago, you lost 20%. If you use my algorithm, again, you lose, but you lose 16%. The algorithm can't make you money on a losing stock, but the algorithm can limit your losses. Again, pay for my newsletter, and it's all explained in there as to why I developed the algorithm. That was what this weekend was about. But again, Apple, Dan Ives says that Apple, it's inevitable. They're going to come out with a car. I'm gonna in the newsletter, I will link to this article that says Apple, the car is a matter of time, just when, not if. And Dan Ives puts it out there. He says, yeah, and I'll put it out there for you. Apple, on the other hand, look, it's got confirmation. It's over that 9-day. Do not buy AAPD right now. At some point in time, this makes sense. Apple is a $200 stock. With momentum, this one gets to 200. Now, my guess is 200, whenever you get to a new handle, 190, 200, Apple typically, does a little dancing around those kind of even numbers there. I would expect it to dance a little bit around 200 and then maybe pull back to the 186 realm. You're not getting a lot of volume up here. Again, you're in summer. It's a little bit hard to gauge it, but you're not getting there. I was listening to a podcast and actually read an article that the podcast was talking about 4 AI plays that they feel are the best ones. First one's NVIDIA. You can see this support line right here that I drew at 369. Right now, the algorithm has you out. You got a nice 51% gain. Your boy bought here, I think at 290, 299, 298, somewhere in that neighborhood, right before earnings. I'm sitting on that. This is a long-term hold. I am not trading this one. When it goes below 400, and at some point in time, my belief is it will go below 400. It's capitulating right here between the 405 and 420 mark. Right now, you're at 422. I would say it with me, as it not coming down to 400 again, I may buy some at 405. I thought it was going to play between 370 and 400. It doesn't seem to be. And the longer we sit up here, the more I want to get in, but I've got to be patient. I bought a small amount, 2 or 3 lots down here, so I've still got like 4 or 5 lots to go to add to my position that I want to hold long-term in NVIDIA. The next AI play that they said was Microsoft. Microsoft, for me, I think anything under 330, if you can get this in the 330 handle, like for instance, it's 339 right now. If you don't have a position in Microsoft, I don't think it's a horrible place to start adding to your position. Buy it on the way down. When you first buy it, make that a 5-day rule. You will not buy it above that price that you first buy it at for the next 5 days. Even if it starts soaring, Microsoft, it just got you in with a 340.39. I think anything under 340 is fine. I'd rather see you under 330. I do think at some point in time we touch this gap right here between 318 and 315. These lower gaps below 300, I'd just consider them, you ain't getting down there. You're just not getting down there. The AI train is just too strong. The next AI company is Google, and that's 3 out of the 4, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google. Google, 120.92. I said anything under 120, absolutely buy it. Your boy bought under 100, a bunch under 100. I'm sitting on it. It's long term. I've got this one in a retirement account. I've got 6 figures in this one. All the way from like 50 all the way up, maybe even 20. I mean, it's a long-term hold for me. Google, again, I kind of made the choice. I chose Apple over Google when I picked the iPhone over Android, and which was a good call, but I still had Google. So I think Google, anything under 120 in pre-market or at 120.64, I'd wait for it to get to that 119, then just start adding it. And the final of the 4 is Amazon. I think anything under 130, you're doing fine. I think at some point in time, you may get back down here to this shelf at 116, 120, but that volume shelf between 125 and 127 is actually expanding. With this one coming out, I just see these volume shelves up here expanding. So I think adding around those prices is probably a good guide for you. Tom from Instagram, he wrote to me actually last week. I just forgot to add it. My apologies, Tom. He's a new listener. Been looking at Easterly Government Properties, DEA, and just seeing what your thoughts are. 7.29% dividend. Many thanks. He's from Liverpool. I could not, by the way, I can't believe how many international listeners I have. I can barely understand myself in English, and if English is your second language, kudos to you for understanding me. So DEA, ironically, 1466, it has a buy. It's already below that at 1450. You're hovering right around this 200-day. I don't see anything explicitly here in the 4-hour that I would say don't buy it at 1466, although it's a little bit expensive. Come back here to March and you were at 12. You just passed your ex-dividend date. You've got your earnings coming up August 1st. Your MACD's kind of just hovering around. I would say 1466 is probably average. If I go to a weekly, you're seeing that death cross right here in May. It's just taking a turn. And your 50 days moving down, your 200 days moving down. So long-term and medium-term, not a trade. Not a trade whatsoever. I would say stay out of that 1466, even with this one. You're not seeing it well above the 9-day, and the 9-day hasn't crossed the 21. So even your short term isn't super bullish. You are seeing the Bollinger Band cinch up a little bit. When those two cinch up, typically that means it's either going up or down in a good pattern. You can see this one cinched up right here, went up before absolutely just losing it. But I don't know enough about the fundamentals of this one. Like you said, 7.31. 7.31's a big dividend to hold. It's a that's a big dividend for a $1.3 billion company. It is a small REIT, probably investing in government properties. So long term, they probably have enough. March 28th, upgrade Compass Point, price target 17. I would be careful about this average price target of 15 because it all seems like it was last year. And it seems like they may have been overpriced specifically since this year. I mean, here's January 2022. There's January 2023. January 2023, you started out at 1471. You're at 1450. You went all the way down to, it looks like, $12.27. I don't want to talk you out of this one, but I mean, come on, Tom. AI. Is this one into AI? I don't know. I mean, I don't think they have AI. I'd probably move you more towards a growth one. Like I said, when you look at QQQ, we're still in a bull market. So I'd probably point you towards that one. This one probably not horrible. I think there's probably better REITs out there. But since it's a government, I would say that it is long-term. Based in Washington, D.C., focuses on the acquisition, development, and management of Class A commercial properties that are leased to the U.S. government. I think it's a safe play, but 52-week range, $12.27 to $20. You're 18% below your high. 18% above your high. You're 27% below your high. Well, I think I got that backwards, but it's a freaking Monday. Give me a break. So, Tom, I'd probably point you towards something different. I don't think it's a bad one, though. If you want to hold on to that dividend, I think REITs are just kind of in trouble a little bit. And I think it depends on who you put in the government. I mean, if Trump gets in there, expect that government to shrink down to almost nothing. If they win, if Trump gets in and the Republicans get the House and the Senate, which I hope doesn't happen, but I would expect a pretty good trimming of the government size. That's what I would do. I am going to include in the newsletter, it's a trading plan sequence. And you can mix these around, but absolutely 8 things you should do when you trade. It's trade or invest. Whenever you buy, whenever you sell, find an entry signal, set a profit target. So you set your upside, determine risk reward ratio. I want to make 10%. So the most I really want to lose is 5% on a trade. Now, investment, I can go down significantly. I don't mind holding on as long as the company's a good company with good management, good products, and good earnings. I don't mind holding on. Quantify the price action risk. Set your position size. Set your stop loss. Set your trailing stop loss. Respect first exit signal, win or lose. That's big. I mean, that's big. I'll put that in there. You should probably laminate that card, put it on your dresser, do whatever you need to do. Ooh, look at this. Yeah. Hello on YouTube from Kenya. Shout out, man. I can't read your name, though. Listen, I'd have to translate that one, but I can't read it. A good way to play oil, and I want to shout out Jim Lebenthal on CNBC for this one. But you can kind of see the algorithm was telling you to buy here's in the 6s, the low 6s. It got you out a couple of times. I probably would have told you to hold on because I do think that this one's coming up. I think you've got a $10 play here. And this is RIG, R-I-G. It's a company based in Switzerland. They basically transport oil. That's what they do. Look at the weekly. You're still above that 50-day. Your 50 days moving positive. Your 200 days just starting to move. You're kind of creating this volume shelf up here between 6 and 7. I would get in the 6s. I would look at your chart, make sure that you're comfortable with your entry point. Make sure you identify your downside and your upside. But you can't argue. $6.39 back on Friday. That would have been the buy, RIG. In fact, I need to put this into, I think the energy names is where I'm going to put this into. Yeah, I'm going to update that one. And yes, it's a shared list because I share it with a bunch of people. So rig is a good one. Now let's talk about the news of the day and the news of the weekend for at least my multiple text groups that I'm in. It's Tesla. Tesla deliveries higher than expected. About 4% above the consensus, just over 466,000 for the quarter. That's for the quarter. Hugely strong. All eyes now turn to the auto gross margin. So essentially, remember, Elon basically said, I am going to lower the price of these cars and take less margin, whereas he was making over 20% margin, whereas Ford and GM make like 4 to 8% margin. Elon was making over 20%. It kind of got dinged when it went down to 19%. It got below that 20. And that's where you see after this earnings of the last time where it was trading at 183 and it went down to 163, that's where the margins came in. So the earnings are coming up July 19th. 2 weeks. You've got 2 weeks to try and determine, do margins actually make a difference in this? This one has run from 163 here in May to 261. It's trading in pre-market at 276. Absolutely has all the confirmation in the world. You got a gap down here at 230. This was the gap. It started to fill it. I didn't want to buy in. I missed out again. If we go over to a short wait thing on the, I can't wait for a pullback. This is how the market seemed to me. I can't wait for a pullback. And then once this right side, I never have a problem because I have Trendspider and I can know when to get in. But the left side, can't wait for a pullback. That's where I've been with Tesla. I've been waiting for this pullback. It got out way too early. I got out here, I think, at about 183. And I got out way too early. Once it filled this gap, I got nervous. I didn't expect this. So that's where you can kind of miss it. But remember what Elon's doing. He's setting this up so that when he gets full self-driving, he can sell it for $20,000 to $30,000 to a couple of million cars out there on the road. Personally, I don't think he gets there. I don't think so. That's my own personal opinion. Full self-driving, I have it on my Tesla. It is unbelievably good on the highways, unbelievably bad for the cities. I just don't trust it. I think it's way more stressful to actually drive on auto drive in the city than it is to just drive it yourself. So that's my take on it. But, fanboys may disagree. I am a fan of the stock. Here's what I see on the stock on this 4 hour. I'm seeing the cross down of the MACD. That didn't get you out in my algorithm because there's a couple of other different things, but it didn't get you out, but it pulled it back down here. And you're going to get another cross up of the MACD. The RSI's at 60, a little bit overbought, but you got 2 weeks here. I just don't know where this one goes. With the expected lower volume of the summer, I just don't know. Now, if you were playing last week, I got out of TSLQ at about 34.80, 35, close to 35. We're at $30.50. This $33 buy right here, I timed it up here. And listen, I was expecting this gap to get filled. Didn't get filled. It touched it. It rejected it. I said, okay, I've got to look at getting out of this one. I got out. You're at $30.61. Had I kept in here at 33, I would have been, losing about 10% right now. Wouldn't have felt good. Feels good to get out here. But again, you have to be careful when you short Tesla. The one that was the right call and the one that I should have bought right back into was what TSLL, which is 1.5 times shares of Tesla. And this one, you have this gap down here at 15, didn't quite hit it. Went down to about 15.25. But if you got in there at 15.25 and you're sitting there at 17.35 right now, in pre-market, you're at 18.79. Kudos. And you're just getting a MACD cross up. I talked about it earlier, trying to find one. Here you go. Here's a perfect one. 880. This one gets you in at $8.80 May 1st. You're at $17.35. You've doubled your money, more than doubled your money in TSLL. And then you pull back and you didn't get out. If you got out because you lost your confirmation at 17, you had a chance to buy back in at 15. Take your profits, buy back in when it gives you confirmation. Say you sold up here at 17.49 and then you buy back in at 17.57. But this is what I'm talking about. This is going to cross up again on the MACD. Right here, you're seeing the MACD cross up. This entry, it's a secondary cross up. So in my algorithm with the secondary cross up, you're not going to see another buy signal here, but it's another bullish signal upward. So I'm not telling you to buy TSLL. I'm not telling you to buy TSLQ. I'm just saying momentum matters. So other stocks that are up, NEO is up 4% in pre-market, just off the strength of Tesla, and Li Auto. Those are the two. This one's up 5.25%, both Chinese EV makers. So let me bring up, I was asked to go over crypto in the private Facebook group. I won't be going over crypto. There's 5 stocks that I think in crypto that I recommend. I am not an expert in crypto. You may think that your boy knows everything. Your boy knows nothing about crypto. I know Coinbase has been a monster stock, trades right along with crypto, probably not as crazy as crypto. 53.29. I said, get this when it was an overreaction. This was when the Wells notice went out from the SEC. And Coinbase said, F you, SEC, you don't know what you're talking about. Had confirmation all the way up to 71. In pre-market, you're at 72.44. Riot is another one that I don't go over a lot, but this one and Mara trade right alongside with each other. You had a buy in here at 10.64. You're at 11.81. And it has confirmation. So Riot is one. Mara has been a monster. 10.21. It never got under that $10 mark. Back here on July 15th, if you bought it at 9.81 and you have the cojones to stay in this one, kudos to you, because you're at 13.85 right now. A 40% gain, somewhere in that neighborhood. But if you really want to trade some Bitcoin and Ethereum, trade GBTC. Do not hold GBTC. This one does not trade in line with Bitcoin. My algorithm is pretty smart about it. My algorithm actually over 24 months, 2 years, you make 30% in this GBTC. You lose 30% if you just bought and held. So it protects you from the downside, my algorithm. It's kind of getting that button hook that I always talk about. See it back here in April. That's a button hook. You're seeing it start to form this. This was an enormous candle, by the way. An enormous candle that broke through the 9-day. But you're holding confirmation. But you're seeing that MACD start to cross down. You're seeing the RSI start to move down. In pre-market, this is up 1.3%. It is at 1944. The Ethereum Grayscale Trust, same thing. You can trade this one. $7.95 just a few days ago. You're at $9.94 right now. And again, you had a huge candle and you've got confirmation above the 9-day. You covered this gap. So I would say trade those. I'm just not a very good crypto guy. I mean, I'm a boomer, man. I don't own crypto. I probably should. Everybody says you should put 5% of your actual net worth into crypto just because it could be life-changing. I am a guy who will drive 50 miles to avoid an ATM fee. So I don't like the fees that crypto has to go along with it. Just me. My weekly stock pick, the dude has turned it around. He's up 5% year to date. Remember, the Dow, let's go to Seeking Alpha. Let's look at the Dow. Let's look at Dow Jones Industrial, DJI. Here we go. Let's see charting, and let's see year to date. Year to date, 3.84. My weekly stock pick's up 5%. You know what he picked this week? Apple. He picked Apple again. He's up. You have confirmation in Apple. I think his algorithm works. Again, my weekly stock, it's called myweeklystock.substack.com. His newsletter is absolutely free. There's his tracking this week. Go and sign up for it. myweeklystock.substack.com. Apple is his pick this week. I got a big, I got a lot of Apple. Here's the heat map. I want to go over this because the list of scans are huge. And I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to give you the core portfolio. XLY is in our core portfolio. This one, secondary cross-up. XLK is not in our core portfolio, but secondary cross-up has another one. IGM, which is an expanded tech ETF. This one is just a tech ETF, 393.57. It's trading at 392. It had that buy-in. This one has run up so much, but what you're seeing is that MACD is crossing up down here. So it has the legs for another one. There's a triple levered tech ETF that I want to go over, TECL. This one, I want you to see something. TECL, it has an initial cross up at 54.09. The MACD is down here. The RSI is at 66. It's a little bit overbought. If you want a triple levered technology shares, I think that's one you could probably get into. I got a whole bunch of covered call ETFs that has entries, like SPYI. You guys know I bought SPYI last week for my HSA account. I bought it somewhere in the neighborhood of $49.30, somewhere around there. It's up at $49.64. You're up slightly. This is not one where you buy to trade it. This is one where you buy for the dividend. We talked about the government housing one with a 7% dividend. SPYI pays out monthly, and it's a 12% dividend. Year to date, this is up 7.81% because the SPY is up, but SPYI is one that comes up. You got a whole bunch of spider sectors, a whole bunch of low-cost Vanguard ETFs, including VOO, which is in our core portfolio as well. This is a secondary cross-up here. Again, you had the MACD going down. It's coming back up again. So February is a good month. Overall, let's look at the February. Let's pull this back to 2010 with VOO. 13 years. July's up 83% of the time. 83% of the time it's up. So, again, Trendspider is great. Let's talk about the sponsor of the podcast, Trendspider, obviously 50% off. The sale is over in 1 day, 15 hours, 51 minutes, and 23 seconds. You need the elite level of service, that middle level of service. What you're going to do is go to my link tree. You're going to go down below to any of the Trendspider links that I include in any of my episodes. It includes, I think it's Gary93 or something at the end of the URL. If you want to just get it, go to linktr.ee/dailystockpick. Right here, 50% off. You get my algos, watch list scanners. You get everything. I will be driving this week, so not only will it be a short July 4th week, but I will not be doing my podcast. I will be doing my newsletter. So the dailystockpick.substack.com, that's the link right there. You can go there, you can sign up, or you can go to the down here, Daily Stock Picks newsletter, Substack, right down there. You can go there. If you are trading with Robinhood, I would suggest Webull over Robinhood. Sign up for Webull, fund an account with as much money as you want. There's no minimum. Get up to 12 stocks for free. It's the third link right here. Other link. If you are paying anything more than $20 for your phone service, $25, this is a link that will absolutely get you $20 off your first month, making your first month $5. It is so simple. You bring your own phone. You don't need a phone. Basically, you go to that link in my link tree, which is the second link. You go over here to Visible. You basically say, bring my phone. You don't need a new phone, or you can get a new phone. I signed up one person the other day, a friend, who was paying $75 to $80 to Verizon with an older phone. That was just the service. We got Visible, and we got a new iPhone 13. iPhone 13, not the 14. We got a new iPhone 13. And it was less than the $70 per month for that. So she's saving money, plus she got a new phone. So that was just, a few weeks ago or so. But again, the link tree, it's the second link down there. The Weeble's the third link. Support this page. If you want to tip, if you made some money off of a trade that I gave you, hey, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. I prefer Venmo. It's just easier. I would say Cash App is the second. PayPal is the third. PayPal charges me some fees for some reason. I don't know why. But Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. You can tip me. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's $1. You can absolutely just give me $1. The reason that makes me feel good is because I know you made money. I don't care if you made $100,000 off your trade. Sure, I'd like a standard bartender or server tip of 20 grand. Sure, I'd love that. But give me $1. I know you made money. I'm cheap. I don't know that I didn't necessarily tip me more than $1. But if I gave you a tip and you're in there, or if you asked a question and you made that trade, yeah, I deserve it. Any questions, hit me up. I will not be on tomorrow because we don't have a market open tomorrow. I most likely won't be on Wednesday. If I am, it's a bonus, mofos. But if I am, I'm out there. And Michael, I will stay onto YouTube here at the 1 hour mark. And I'll give you my thoughts on Tesla. I already did it on the podcast. I think it's an opportunity, but we'll talk about it. Okay. Happy 4th, everybody. Please don't light off fireworks late at night. Be respectful for those veterans with PTSD and dogs who have PTSD like mine from being rescues. So be considerate. Don't be douchey. And fireworks, there's a lot of kids out there who need headphones and say, come on, be nice. Fireworks are great. Don't do it in a city setting. If your neighbors have kids or pets, don't do it. Don't be a douche. So, and whatever. Okay. My rant is over. See you guys later. Bye. Okay. Michael, let me, Sherry, I started early because we only have a half day, and your boy cut his hair and dyed it. It's still not perfectly white, but it'll get there. Let me just export this. And I'll share you my thoughts. And morning, Eric. And I am just superbly proud that we have someone from Kenya in here. That's awesome. So here's my thoughts on Tesla. Tesla will open up. Yeah, I kept this little for her pleasure, I think it's called. But Tesla, here's my thoughts on Tesla. You have confirmation above that 9-day. You've got a gap down here to 235, which I completely expect to get filled. When you come down to that gap, you've got no volume whatsoever here, but it is putting in this volume shelf up here at 250, 260. If I go back to a weekly and look at long term, and we pull our volume shelf up to a little bit more recent, let's say 1 year ago. We'll go back to, let's say, June 20th. That was kind of a low. That was where we were trading right now. You can see that volume shelf is still at 200. So I completely expect us to pull back at some point in time to that. The key point, Michael, is going to be the margins. And if I run this algorithm, it's, I think, in 2 weeks, July 16th, did I say? 19th. July 19th is the earnings. I completely expect, just like last time, here's where the margins mattered. You went from 181 down to 163. At this high price, I would expect that to pull back down here to the 200 mark, at least the 200 day, and go and hug the 200 day. Yes, that's a golden cross. Yes, it's a strong momentum mover. But you've moved from 200 to 260 in an S&P major stock that doesn't have the earnings to suggest that it should be up that high. The PE is 77. The forward PE is 53. Performance year to date up 112. Average price target still remains at 200. There are only a few people who have moved it since July. That's today. They've moved it to 293, 270, 275, 240. This dude at JP Morgan, he bumped it up to 120. What are you kidding me? Dude's a douche. This guy at JP Morgan, who is it? Let me see. I don't even know. JP Morgan Tesla price target. Let's see. Analysts raised their price target. Oh, that's August 8th. Let's see. Again, Tesla price target. And we'll go to news. And we'll say, yeah. Here. Here's market screener. Oh, it doesn't. It just tells me. That's just a headline. Okay. Ryan Brinkman. Ryan Brinkman deserves to be fucking fired. I mean, what kind of world are you living in where you raise your price target from 115 to 120 on Tesla when it's trading at 280? What world is this dude living in? So, Michael, to express my thoughts, I think Tesla is absolutely worth it. I think it's a stock that will trade back down to 200. In fact, look at ARKF. Man, ARKF is up at 2150. Whew. Good move on that. Let's see. There, it's still working. There we go. But I do think that you have me. I'm waiting for the pullback. I'm playing either TSLQ or TSLL. TSLL right now has all the confirmation in the world as well. So 7.3. There we go. Boom, boom. Thanks, Lane. I appreciate that. And we're gonna pull that up. We're gonna pull this up. Copy. Okay. Let's pull up the notes. Generating preview. Q-tip, my man. Hey, D-man. Work hard, man. Get that money so you can put it into Sony. I love that you love Sony so much, but I am an Xbox guy who understands that Sony flagship phones have been just a nightmare from a cost standpoint. But they provide the best camera lenses, sensors, and all of that stuff. So I think that you're right in a sense. Okay, let's see. What am I going to put in? Oh, no, I don't want that. We're going to say. I'll look, Michael. Let me just finish this up. Yeah. I think somebody's listening to me in the other room. Oh, 28. Okay, I've got to. There we go. Okay. Do. 723. Pavan, give me a second. No. I'm not going to add a poll. Insert ad breaks. 1. Insert ad break. Done. Wait, insert ad break. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back. I love you too. to turn on the air conditioner in here. Let's see. What do I think about SQQQ? Let me bring you back over to episode list, Spotify, Tesla. Let me bring you back over here. Here's my take on SQQQ. Rather than look at SQQQ, Pavan, and Michael, I'll get to your restock too. Rather than look at SQQQ, I want to look at QQQ. And the reason is because SQQQ is just the downside of QQQ. Why do I think that a MACD cross-up on QQQ with confirmation over the 9-day would indicate to me that SQQQ is a good buy? With, by the way, QQQ over 13 years. We can go back even further than that. Let's go back to 1999. 24 years. 7 out of 10 times, 71%, the Qs are up in the month of July. So, Pavan, I think you're just crazy. I think you're out of your mind. If you want to take that gamble, it's against everything that I see in the charts. In fact, I was just going over on the podcast, Pavan. I think TQQQ is your play. I think if you get TQQQ under 40, I think you play it. Look at that MACD. Here, let's go to SQQQ. You're going to be crossing down on the MACD. Look, you're crossing down. Now, yes, the RSI is at 33, but you're not even above the 9-day. There's no confirmation there, Pavan. Let me look at Michael's We stock, WE. We work. I mean, no. You want to know why? So, it's got a $542 million market cap. That's million, not billion. 542. You're losing 1.8 billion. 1.8 billion is what you're losing. You're down 82% year to date. Your cash on hand, you have $766 million in the bank. Your cash on hand is 11 cents. You're going to get further diluted. It's just a matter of time. You're going to get further diluted. So, the average price target is $1.12. I just don't believe it. And the reason is most of these are from 2022. The only one this year is from May. They downgraded it to 30 cents. Let's look at the insider buys. There's buys here. I mean, these dudes are buying. It's not a ton of money to these guys. I mean, what's he buying? Couple $100,000? They're making $1 million a year. He's trying to, bolster up the share price. Now, we work, Michael. There's better places to put your money. That's my take on it. Mo, I just went over Tesla. TES, TSLQ, I got into it last week at 33. I think 33.80 was where I got into it. I thought it was going to cover this gap. It's not. It's below the 9-day. No confirmation. No opportunity right here. Your best play is TSLL because this one has a MACD cross up. Same thing as I said on QQQ. You got a MACD cross up. You got TSL well above the 9-day with confirmation. It's a little bit oversold. Overbought, I mean, at $18. Imagine if you had my algorithm and you bought TSLL since you're into Tesla and you said, let me just make sure that Tesla's going to go back up. At this $8 mark, I'm going to buy it. Boom. You're almost at 20. You've almost tripled your money just since May. Again, my algorithm works on good stocks. TSLL, good stock. Say you just want to use the 65-minute and trade TSLL. Here, this is a great a great example. The 65-minute algorithm, which simply uses an 8-day EMA to buy and sell. You can set this up on your own. If you've got your own charting program, I tell you Trendspider does it the best because it tells you when to get in, get out, and you can buy it on a bot. But here, 8 months. 8 months. It gets you in and out 80 positions. You win 33% of the time. So you lose more than you win. Your average win is 7%. This makes you 70% over 8 months. 8 months, 70%. You know, if you just bought and held TSLL 8 months ago, you'd be up 5%. So again, I think it's worth it to kind of, look at these opportunities. And if you're trading a large enough size, get Trendspider. It's 50% off, $400 for the year. It's not that much. Use my link down below. Go here to the link tree. And it's the top thing, 50% off until tomorrow. It's like a day left. But you get the 4-hour algorithm. The 4-hour algorithm on TSLL over 10.8 months, because it hasn't been out that much. 10 months, you make 176%. Versus if you bought it 10 months ago, you're losing 30%. Your average win is 62%. And that doesn't even include this run right here. Because look, in December, it got you in at $6. Sure, it went down to, let's see, $4.64, but it kept you in. And boom, it got you out with 89%. You could have gotten out earlier. But, yeah. Now, I've got to go into iMovie. Because I do like the way the other one was set up. Let's see. We're going to get rid of that. So I think I answered everybody's question. I think you're crazy, D-Man. I think you're nuts. Don't short that Qs. The Qs have momentum. Momentum is a super strong force. You're going to slow down here a little. Let me see. Does my voice mess up? Fubo's up. I'm trying to get this into iMovie. Oh, I guess I'm not slowed down. Yeah, Mo, if you don't have time to actually, listen, Trendspider, in my mind, if you're trading a large enough amount, it's good. If you're not trading a large enough amount, I think it's good to protect your portfolio to have something like Trendspider. That's why I got it. But I agree with you. If you let me just make sure this works. Good morning. Monday, July 3rd. First day of trading in July. Fun. There we go. $400. Okay. Let me do this. We're just going to colorize this one. Okay, we got it colorized. There you go. And export file. Wow, 7 gigs. Whew. I'm going to say hi. We'll do hi, what the hell. Pod 7.3. Save. Let me look, Sherry. Fubo. Let's look at Fubo. D-Man, you're crazy for shorting the Qs. Here's Fubo. Ooh, Fubo got you right back in. Sherry, I think we talked about it getting you out, but it was going to get you right back in at 210. You're up at 216. Kudos. MPW, that's the REIT, medical properties. This one shouldn't be going up this much with that crazy dividend that it has. What is it, 12%? 12.53. But I think you picked a good time to get in because I do think that you're going to see this one start to move pretty well. The one that I need to worry about is Sedge. We're at 276 right now. I bought it down here at 251. I'm doing well. Think you're going to that 300 mark. PayPal is one that just hasn't seemed to work out. It's coming back, but I didn't get in at this 60. I got in at 67. I do think that this gap gets filled up here. What else did I buy? Let's see. I'm going to go into my Fidelity account. Let's see. I'm down today, 0.1%. And the NASDAQ is up. Let's see. All positions. Ones that I've traded recently. Morgan Stanley, Oxy, PanW, Palantir. Let's look at Palantir. PLTR. Palantir confirmation, 1532. It's down 0.7. It just got you back in at 1523. I think I'm in this at 14 and change. It's got its MACD crossing up. I think this one's fine. In that ascending wedge. If it gets down below 14, I would say if it gets closer to the 14 handle, I might start to worry a little bit about it. Sedge is up. SPYI, we talked about that one being up. That's it. I'm not holding a lot in that trading portfolio. Yeah, Rivian's up because Tesla deliveries. I mean, yeah. Wow. There's got to be some news on Rivian. Let's see. I think it's going to be they beat for deliveries as well. Rivian beats 854. That's crazy because I don't think any of their trucks actually qualify for God, this is going to take forever. I'm going to have to get off here soon. Sorry, I'm getting some texts about Major League All-Stars, Major League Soccer's All-Star game. What am I doing? Active Trader Pro. I need Safari. Where's my Safari? There's notes. There's Safari. That's a good looking heat map right there. Did you, Sherry? I don't think it was a bad sell. Let me see. Remember, if you took a profit, you can always buy back in. That's a pretty good sale right there. I don't know about, let's see, a long-term one. Long-term, I mean, look at that. You have some confirmation, but I would say breaking above this, yeah, I don't think it's a bad one. And Michael Sedge, in my trade, remember about the plan that you have to have when you actually trade. My plan is to hit that 300. And over 300, I'll wait till it loses confirmation, and then I'll sell it. I'm not playing around with this one. It's almost covered this gap all the way up here to 279, even though it covered it on the way down. It's covering it on its way up. Not super relevant, but relevant enough that I think it's got the momentum. Mo, I hope I told you about TSLQ. Here's the thing. If you're going to buy TSLQ, I'm not going to talk you out of it. I would just have a very, like I did, I had a super tight loss realm. As it went up and I saw it going up, I just said, okay, if it loses this level, I'm actually sell it and keep my profits because I can always buy back in. It was a short-term trade. I identified it as a short-term trade. Either intraday or a swing for a couple of days. And so as it got down to the level that I thought, okay, it's going to continue down to where I bought it, I'm going to get out of it. And that was part of the great thing was I was able to put into Trendspider a text alert that if it touched it on the 5-minute candle at that price, I could, no matter where I was, I could go back in and through my my mobile app on Fidelity and go back in and sell it. But the 4-hour algorithm, by the way, ironically on Sedge, does not work. It loses you 10% versus only losing 3% holding it for 2 years. But your average win is 9.3%. 31 positions, you win 42% of the time. It's just your average loss is 6.48. I mean, that's the idea of trading on this one is, hey, it's a super volatile stock. The other one that you can trade is Enphase because that one's just been beaten down so much. But look at this. I mean, if you want to trade the 65-minute candles, this one doesn't even work for Sedge. Shit, if you bought Sedge 8 months ago, you're up 17%. But your average win on this for a 65-minute is only 2.98%. So I'd rather do it on the 4-hour, be able to win like 10% on this one. But Enphase is kind of the same thing. The only thing that you're waiting on Enphase is has it turned around from a long-term perspective. So 164 here, you're at 171. If we go to the 4-hour and we look at the 4-hour on this one, oh, you got one here at 167 on Friday. 167.58. And boy, you're doing pretty well. You're up 2% today. But from a long-term perspective, take a look at this one. Have you bottomed out? Are you using that 200-day at 154? You got to 157 here on June 26th. Are you using that 200-day as a support to bounce off of? And if we pull the volume shelf here, I want to pull it back to about here. You're seeing that volume shelf right here between 150 and 165 is the biggest. So the people out here mostly have gotten out. So as people start to get out, you don't want to be in. Certainly don't want to be in. Wow, look at this one, PLM. It's one of the big movers today. It's up 142% today. Polymet mining. Let's see, what the hell happened to this one? Oh, they're proposing to buy them. That's what it is. That's why I like PXD, man. I think PXD gets bought by somebody like Exxon or Chevron. That's why I'm willing to hold on to it. In fact, here, let me look at, I want to see Rivian. Because I think they announced at 8:30 this morning. So let's see Rivian in pre-market. Yeah. They announced this morning. So you could have bought this one, assuming you knew that the deliveries announcement was coming out. And I think they did announce that they were going to announce deliveries at 8:30. But you could have bought it at 17. And now you're at 19. A nice 15% move. So, let me see. I need to. Oh, where's. Let me see. I'm going to go to the Spotify. I need to go to Spotify, and I need to start a new note. I can't believe they're bringing down freaking Spotify. Episodes. Published, one ad. We're going to take this one, and we're going to copy, and we're going to paste, and then take that out. There we go. And let's see. Oh, I guess I can cash out. Under 200, Michael. Although I will tell you. There we go. Let me go here. Hold on. I'll bring you back over to this. So PXD. I say under 200. Are you upset that you bought it at 207? No, I bought a lot at 208. You have confirmation above the 9-day. You're moving upwards. The reason why I hold PXD, and there's some, okay, let me explain this. So when you look at the FinViz, PXD has an 11.2% dividend. When you go over to Seeking Alpha and you look at PXD and you look at the summary, well, let's look at dividend. You look at the dividend and it says 2.41. That's a forward 2.41%. That's what they're expecting to pay. Now, when you look at where's the dividend history? Dividend history. And you look at what they paid out before. you can see their payouts weren't that much before. It was like 55 cents up here. Then you started getting these 2 payments, and those are special dividends. So when you look at this, $3.02 and then 62 cents regular, they're keeping their regular dividend around 56 cents or so. And then you look at the 2022, and they just 78 cents, $1.10, $1.10, $1.10. It was those special dividends that kind of added to it at 302. Now, here, you've got $1.25 on 530. What makes me think that we're going to get less than $1.25? Because, again, amount 209. I'm sorry, yeah. 209. Special dividend. Where was that? $1.25. Here it is. Let's see, 1 year. There we go. Regular $1.25. But you got a special dividend on 531 of 209. So you're getting paid pretty well. I just don't. I don't necessarily believe that 2.4 forward. So you can see the 4-year average dividend yield of 4.46. That's great. What's TTM? Trailing 12 months. It's a D plus. Dividend yield forward. Yeah, you can scroll on it and see it. Have fun, Sherry. I may talk to you Wednesday, may not, depending if I drive or not. I'll let you know. Enjoy your 4th. I hope there's not too many fireworks in it for you. But that's why I like PXD. I just like holding it. I can tell you. Let's see what my lots are on PXD. Fidelity. PXD tax lots. I've got one at 205, one at 185, and one at 208. 3 lots. All short term since looks like March. Yay, happy birthday. Yeah, founding members, I tell them on the paid newsletter, I will sing them happy birthday. But I ain't singing for anybody. Somebody wants me to sing, maybe I'll sing. You pay me enough, I'll sing. I'm a hired monkey, is what I am. But yeah, PXD, Michael, I think, I mean, you have to you have to resign yourself that you could lose money on the actual asset. Simple as that. You could lose money on the actual asset. Because here, I'll show you why I think you may lose money on the actual asset. It's still strong. Historically, this is still a strong price for this stock. This is the COVID crash right back here. Pre-COVID crash, you were at $139. What makes you think that oil is worth almost double what it was pre-COVID crash? So, I don't know. I like PXD though. I don't have a ton of money into it. What I consider a ton of money. Others may consider it a large amount, but I don't consider it a large amount. Let me see, where am I on Webull? Can't believe. Can't believe I don't get anything from. Nobody signs up for Webull. I don't think I'm buying anything today. I mean, there's opportunities out there. Let's see the core portfolio. Merck's down 1%. Netflix is down 1%. I think Netflix is a great buy. QCLN, which owns a lot of Tesla, I think. That's up 2%. Qualcomm's up 0.31. Shopify's up 2%. Tesla's up over 280, 281. Good luck with that TSLQ. XLY, which is consumer discretionary, which includes Tesla, is up 172. I have a bunch of XLY, I think. Let me see. XLY, I own. Yup. $110,000 worth of XLY. Do I have a lot? I do have quite a bit. I chose XLY as the spider sector that I wanted to invest in this year. And that's why I have so much. I hold them for at least a year. And what I do is I get in and out of them, the spider sectors. I wait for the dividend at the end of the year. Then next year I wind up selling that one and buying into another one. Making the money, long-term capital gains. But a lot of times I don't even sell it. I just kind of keep it. But yeah, Tesla's the big winner today. But Rivian's even doing better. I mean, here, if we type in, I need to put Rivian in my not owned. Let's put it in the not owned. I don't know that I'll necessarily own this one. But trading-wise, I probably should look at it every now and then. And the reason being, if we look at a long-term chart of this, do you have the 200-day yet? No, you don't have the 200-day. If we look at this long-term, I mean, it's just a falling knife. But if we go to this peak level that it kind of at 37, you're kind of moving up in the positive direction now. I mean, you may have bottomed out here at 14 or 15, but you still got a bunch of people who own at 30. So at some point, it's probably going to turn up there. Ugh. And at some point, I'm going to do a video, a whole video with Venn diagrams of how you use this podcast, use the tools that I have to actually make money. Meaning, you take the podcast as kind of the core. Then you have the YouTube channel as kind of secondary. Morning Zephin. Then you have the newsletter. And then you have the Facebook group and things of that sort. And how I see all of them kind of combining together so as to offer you a chance to actually make money. I do love Arrowhead, Zephin. I do love it. I've been there when I lived out in California. I think I visited a couple of times, but I was not as outdoorsy when I lived in California as I am now. Bank of America, man. Bank of America. Oh, you know what? I should have brought up. Your boy owns Wells Fargo. They just upped their dividend by 15, 20%? That one's up 0.75 at 43, buying at 42. I'm waiting for this YouTube video to come out of iMovie. And Zevin, I did the whole podcast already. There's Warrior Trading. The end of Milorganite. What? Let's go to live on YouTube. Who's live on YouTube? The craziest week in podcast history. That's Shuley. I like Shuley. I like these guys. They got 800 people watching. Wow, that's more than I thought they would. But I like Shuley. Not a fan of Bob Levy. AMC, Ape. These guys always have a ton of people watching. James Boyd of Trading Futures. I don't trade futures. Man, all these fucking relaxing music ones. SPY, Top Trading Edge. By the way, CoffeeZilla, if you haven't seen it, this guy, this 3-part series. Let's see, CoffeeZilla. I'm going to surprise. I can't believe I subscribed to him on my personal channel, just not this one. But there's 3 videos exposing. I'm going to share this one. Let's see. Copy. Yeah, Q-tip. Any reaction in the market is an overreaction. I think airlines are a good trade. Don't buy and hold it. But this one, I think is that series from CoffeeZilla exposing a $500,000 scam. It is a masterclass on when something. Oh, I think that's part 2. Let me put part 1 in. Hold on. You got to watch part 1 before you get to part. Actually, you know what? Create post. Why not? We're going to do a post. A masterclass on if something is too good to be true. It probably is. Do not. There we go. Create a quiz. Oh, public. I liked it. And I do think that he just does a great job identifying. And the Logan Paul scam, I mean, if you don't know about that one, that's crazy. This guy does a great thing. I mean, he just outlines everything. But let's go back to understanding who else is live. Forex day trading. Who are these? Let me see. Forex. You make some good money in Forex.
News in. Nope. I'm gonna stick to my routine, stick to what I do best, and we're gonna come in and do a simulation. Yeah, it should be fun.
Join our free Discord to send charts.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. Hey guys, if you haven't subbed to the channel, it looks like we're creeping on 7K here. So if you guys haven't subbed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. You'll also have a chance to win yourself a $100,000 challenge account if you're a sub to the channel. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel now, and if you haven't liked the stream, give the stream a like for us. And yeah, it's gonna be a really good month.
It's gonna be a good month.
But yeah, this candle has no bottom wick yet, so I told I told most of you guys to close full, right? You know, right around there. So U.S. bank holiday tomorrow. Yeah, we won't be trading. We're just gonna be doing a simulation. So for those of you that have
okay, I don't like that guy. That guy seems way too interested. I mean, just look at the description for me. It was like, hey, sign up for this, sign up for this, sign up for this. And doesn't give you tools. It's just sign up for our alerts. More news in Gaza. Let's see. News. Huh. There's the My Weekly Stock Pick. There's the Apple car. My newsletter. I have notes too, by the way. Oh, and you can chat on, I didn't know this, but you can chat on Substack. I chatted with some folks down there. I don't have an archive, I don't think. But I put some notes up every now and then. Let's look at the archive. Oh, I guess it just automatically archives everything. Leaderboard. Oh, I'm trying to set up where you can get free months. Join the crew. Where you can get free months. In fact, I might run a promo later where you get free months for signing up with Trendspider. I got to figure out how that would work. Because, again, your boy is lazy. Oh, you know what? I haven't even done I'm going to move you over here. I'm going to do a Canva PDF or thumbnail. Why wasn't I doing that the whole time? Let's see. We're going to use... I'll use this one. Why not? Make a copy. And then we're going to close that one. We're going to uploads. Take that down. And we're going to put in Trendspider up here. Boom. Oh, no. We're going to get out of that. And we're going to say, let's copy this. And we're going to take this and put it up here. We're going to shrink this down. And we're going to... Let me see. What am I? Let me see. First promoter. Let's see. Boom. Sign in. I am a VIP partner. say, we're going to insert this up here. And we're going to put that in there. And put that there. Then we're going to say, I'm going to take this down actually. We're going to delete that. Seven three podcast. We're going to take this and escape. Let's see. Okay, we're going to take that out and we're going to put, oh, why do I have, there we go. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take that out. We're going to put this in here. There we go. Okay. And I've got that done. Quit iMovie. And we're going to say, and we're going to bring this down. Let's see. We're going to shrink this down. Boom, 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 boom. And we're going to, move that down there. Oop. And we're going to say, boom, boom. We're going to copy this. And we're going to paste it. Okay. And then we're going to take this. this and move that up there. And we're going to take all this. We're going to move it to, there we go. Get that out of there. And then do I have another? Tommy, that's probably a little bit difficult to kind of say. Let me look real quick. Yeah, I mean, we all start small, Tommy. Sedge is good. I would get out. Sedge is a trade. Sedge is not an investment. Sedge is a trade. Let me upload this, Tommy, and then I'll help you real quick because I'll go through kind of my thoughts on upload video because it should be fairly quick. Ooh, final season of Billions. Pod 7.3. There we go. Upload. Copy. We're going to paste this in. Then we'll upload the thumbnail. Tommy, I would say you have no exposure to artificial intelligence. You have no exposure to Apple. You have no exposure to the entire tech market with MSTR. I don't know what that MSTR is, but I'll look it up. I think it's Masterport, if I'm not mistaken. But I would personally try and get you into that type of thing, AI, because any of the big growth. Sedge is not necessarily a growth one. You really need. Okay, where is that? Oh, there it is. Playlist, daily stock reporting. No, it's not made for kids. I gotta pick a title. Let me see. What was my title of my? Let's see. I need to go to episodes. There we go. We're gonna call this 7.3 pod. Okay, we're going to go down here. Next. Upload complete. Okay. Close. My thumbnail probably sucks, but okay. So Tommy, here's you got $150. Apple's probably a little too high for you to take. I would try and get exposure to all of those companies in an ETF with $150. It might seem to be small, meaning that you're not going to see an enormous growth in an ETF like that. But I'd rather see you put money that's going to grow than to put money in that you're going to lose. I think Sedge is a trade. I would take that $150 and I would take 100 of it and actually invest, not trade. Invest. And what you do is, as you make money, you invest 2/3 of your money. You invest it. You don't trade it. You trade 1/3. And I think as you build up, you're going to have a big investment. Again, this is weekly. So you want to compound yourself. Add something weekly. FBCG, which you're seeing right here, is a good ETF. It's got great growth. You can go into Seeking Alpha, FBCG, type this in. Take a look at the FBCG right there. No, come on. Let's go to Seeking Alpha. Why is it doing this to me? FBCG. Go over here to summary and you can go to holdings. The top 10 holdings: Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Tesla, Marvel, Uber, Netflix. That comprises 55% of the actual ETF, FBCG. Super low cost. The expenses are 0.59 expense ratio. Median of all ETFs is 0.49. So you're kind of a little higher, but it gets you growth. And I think it's good. It's actively managed. They do change up their stuff. Here, FBCG versus TCHP. So you can look at the two introduction. But I would go to Seeking Alpha. I would look at that. I would, let me see. What's Sedge? Here's my take on Sedge. And Tommy, Sedge, you're going to this yellow line. If you start losing confirmation on the 9-day, you get out and hold your profits. If you're in at 250 or 260 like I am, I think it's what am I in on Sedge? Let me see. Log in. I'll tell you my exact buy on Sedge. And I think I only have one lot. I don't think I did 2 lots, but let's see. All positions. Sedge. There it is. I'm in at 257.50. So I didn't time it as well as I would have liked with this buy, but 257.50 is where I'm at. We're at 273 right now, up a little bit. I think you're coming to the 300 level. I think that's where you go. Once you cross the 200-day, I'd start moving your stop loss a little bit high. Take the profits. The 200-day right now is at 294. Probably going to move down to 293 by the end of the day. But I do think that you have strong momentum. Let's see. The other one you have, MSTR. I think that's Masterport. I like Masterport. MicroStrategy. This is the Bitcoin one. You're just gambling on this one. I mean, the entire strategy of MicroStrategy is Bitcoin. So, I mean, you can buy it. I don't particularly like the strategy of buying it. I'm not a fan of this, but the algorithm here, it protects you. It loses you 3% versus over 2 years, you've lost 47%. It got you in at 291. If you're in at 291, great. I mean, you're up at 366. Fantastic play. Bitcoin has been on a roll. I would say if you're putting $50, if you're putting a third of your money into things like MicroStrategy and Sedge, you kind of have to do things a little bit differently. And I hate to be the boomer, but I would add, again, what my strategy when I was younger was I take money out of my paycheck and I invest it and you compound it. And I used to take 2/3 and I would invest it. 1/3, I would do risky plays and trade it. And that was how I stayed in the market. My trades greatly over time underperformed my long-term strategy. And I think in that long-term strategy, you need to have a tech focus. The grade 8, like I say, it's Apple, it's Amazon, it's Netflix, it's Google, it is Meta, it is NVIDIA, and it's Tesla. And, I would add Uber kind of close to it. Uber's going to make a profit and they're going to start killing it. VOO is a great one to look at, Tommy, but you got a lot of options. I would just be careful about trading such a large portion of your portfolio because Bitcoin, it could easily go back down to 8,000 again. I mean, it's not unheard of. You're going to have to put up with that. So a MicroStrategy will close down exactly in line. So I'd be a little bit careful. Tesla's at 282. Okay, I uploaded everything. I am done. I will send out the newsletter probably in another hour or so. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Linktree is where I'm at right here, linktr.ee. You can find everything that you need. Tommy, I would suggest you open up a Webull account. I like Webull. The third link right here is Webull. I have $1,000 in Webull. My main brokerage is Fidelity, and it's just because, Tommy, here's what I do with MicroStrategy. Learn. Get a charting program. If you don't have a charting program, go to Thinkorswim. They allow you to download it for free. Open up a Webull account. Go to linktr.ee/daily-stock-pick. Click that third link. Get some free stocks when you put some money in. It's free. So get some free stuff when you put money in. And then what you do is you download the desktop software for Webull. I don't have it on this computer. I've used it. It's good. Before you trade MicroStrategy, understand what these candles mean. Do some research. Understand what candlesticks mean and only sell it when it loses confirmation. Right now, you have confirmation above, and I call confirmation above that 9-day EMA right there. It is strong. The MACD is not crossing down. I don't know that I'd necessarily get out of this now. You're at 360. The high is 367. You're at 364. MSTR, let's look at the 52-week. I'm not saying it's crazy. I just think, I hate to see people who have small accounts blow up their account with things that they just don't understand. So what I'm trying to tell you is make sure you understand this. Your 52-week high is 361. You're at 361 right now. So be careful because you're at your 52-week high. That's always a dangerous level to be at because unless you have a company that is it has good products with good management, with good earnings. This one doesn't have good earnings. They're losing $877 million. And it's because of the price of Bitcoin. So it's a market cap of $4.25 billion. They've talked about this one getting below 250 and just being dangerous. So But I do think that you need to start understanding charting and not just getting in and out of stuff. I've been in your position. I didn't understand charting. I didn't understand the fundamentals, but absolutely 100% understand the fundamentals on FinViz, understand the chart here, understand that you're still in this upward bound, that you're in a 52-week high, and make sure that you're pulling back appropriately. So there's plenty of YouTube videos out there with strategies and stuff. If you listen to my podcast, you listen for a week, you'll kind of get it. You'll understand, hey, here's a trend line that I see. Here's, I go to FinViz, I look at that. Then I go to Seeking Alpha and I go to MSTR and I look up MSTR. And you know what? Let me look at the charting of MSTR. And I'm going to select a symbol. FBCG. And I'm going to say, okay, what's better for me to put my money into. And I'm going to look at a 3-year. And I'm going to see FBCG returns 41%. MSTR returns 185%. I'm going to look at a 1 month. And MicroStrategy's up 24%. FBCG, it's up that much. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just you're trading on the Bitcoin kind of craze there. You know, it's a little bit hard to talk down MicroStrategy and the fact that Bitcoin's just been up. But FBCG down here on 5-year, it's 49%. You're up 159% on MSTR. But if Bitcoin goes back down to 8,000, MicroStrategy's in danger. So it's a great trade if you got into it. I don't mean to talk it down. I just don't think that MicroStrategy has a long-term plan that is viable. And I'd rather see you own Bitcoin directly if you want to get into crypto. MicroStrategy is a trade, not an ownership strategy. Just like Mara, Riot, and all those other ones. Coinbase, in my mind, might be a buy and hold. Maybe. They're doing fairly well. I mean, that trade from 53 here up to 77. I mean, this is up 8% today. So you're going to double top out here at 85. So I'd say learn a little bit more. Maybe play 2/3 of your strategy a little safer. Use 1/3 as a risky one. And if you go risky 2/3, there's no wrong sense. But I would say look at the AI trade. It's not too late for AI. You know, the top 3 ones that I had today, or top 4 that I had today, I'll tell you exactly. I went over it on the thing. Sign up for my newsletter. That's the best one to get. Oh God, what happened here? Let me see. Let me get this back. Can't believe I missed that one. Did I actually delete it? I guess maybe I did. The 4, here, I'll put them in here for you. Tommy, there's the 4 I like with the price targets that I like. And that's long term. Absolutely long term. You're welcome, Tommy. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm here for you. I'm heading out, though. Take care, you guys. I won't be on tomorrow. Have a great 4th. Everybody outside the country from Kenya, it's 4th of July, celebrating independence for our country from the Brits. So, still love the Brits.